Welcome to the last days of the 2014 election season. I'm Santa Fe reporter editor Julianne Grimm, and I'm here today with Ray Powell, New Mexico's Commissioner of Public Lands. Powell has held this job for the last 4 years and is seeking another 4-year term. And before that, he was commissioner from between 1993 and 2002. So Ray, what is it about being land commissioner that you like so much?
You know, it is one of the most exciting jobs that I can imagine. As a veterinarian, it's a lot like veterinary medicine, solving problems and creating opportunities. And we work for our public schools, universities, and hospitals. And I'm happy to report over the last 3.5 years, we've generated over $2.3 billion to support our public schools, universities, and hospitals. And that amounts to about $1,000 per working family per year that they don't have to pay in additional taxes.
So I'm glad you brought up that $2 billion record revenue for the state. That's come into the permanent funds over the last 3 years, is that right?
We have two revenue sources, and one is the non-renewable, and that goes into the permanent fund. And so from oil, gas, coal, potash, anything that's severed from the land. And then if we have renewable resources like grazing leases or wind farms or solar farms or commercial leases, we get that money directly and then use a small portion of it to run the office, and then the rest goes to our beneficiaries. So I'm really excited about the job because every day is different. And every day is an opportunity to learn something new, but also to create real, tangible opportunities. The land office is a very strange political office in that we have more autonomy than any political office I've ever heard of. I can sell the land, the elected land commissioner can sell the land, lease the land, or trade the land without anybody else's approval. So it means that sunshine is critically important because if there's that sunshine, we can be really nimble and really entrepreneurial while having people watch what we do. If there isn't that sunshine, then bad things can happen and have happened, and things can go right out that back door.
So how much of the money that you bring in every year comes from oil and gas development? That's something our readers are really concerned about.
Well, this last year, again, was record revenues, $117 million, $140 million more than ever before. 97.5% of the revenue came from oil and gas. With the new technologies, and many of those have been developed at New Mexico Tech University here in New Mexico, they're able to capture oil and gas that we thought would never be able to be developed. And the Permian Basin, in fact, it looks like all the oil and gas that has been taken from that area over the last 90 years with these new technologies, there's as much still there to recover. Now that's great news for our taxpayers and for our public schools. And you know, the hard thing is, as we look at carbon in the world and we look at climate change, that's another issue, and it's a very complex issue. And that's one of the reasons that I'm working so hard to broaden the portfolio at the land office. And we now have in progress 14 renewable energy projects, the largest solar array, the largest wind farm, the largest solar distributive array in New Mexico, creating thousands of good jobs for New Mexicans, and over $500 million for our public schools, universities, and hospitals. So it's balancing the non-renewable, extractive industry with the renewable, which will be our future when oil and gas is gone.
Okay, thank you. Well, we invited your opponent, Aubrey Dunn, to talk with us today, but he chose not to participate. What do you make of that?
You know, I think he's lost a real opportunity, because what makes this office really work is that sunshine and that public involvement. And I made a promise when I ran again that there'd be no sales, no long-term leases. no trades of state trust land, which the land commissioner can do without anybody else's approval. But that doesn't make sense. So I made the promise that wouldn't happen if we didn't communicate first with the local communities affected and with the beneficiaries whose land we hold in trust for them, that they'd be involved in that process. So really, the more we have an opportunity to visit with people, the better the office runs. And so I think he lost a great opportunity.
Well, I would have to agree with you. We would have loved to have heard from both of you at the same time. I have one last question for you about your opponent. He has collected double what you have for campaign spending. Is that a reflection of your performance or something else?
Well, you know, we've generated record revenues for the State Land Office, created over 5,000 good-paying jobs for New Mexicans at our business parks. We've taken excellent care of our state trust lands. And I think part of it is he's self-financing. He's a banker. And he's put, I think, over $70,000 of his own money in this campaign. I don't have that war chest in my personal account. So I'm depending on our citizens. It's really a grassroots campaign. If you look at our campaign reports, we have a couple big donors, but most of them are $25, $30, $40. And I really appreciate that, because that public involvement, again, really reflects people are interested in the land office. They're concerned about it. I'm really proud that we've, over the last 3.5 years, put the wheels back on the bus and restored the integrity of the land office after nearly a decade of really serious mismanagement. So, you know, again, I think who gives you the money? Oftentimes people expect something back for that.
So who are those bigger donors that you have?
We have some donors that have given us money. That one is Forest City, that is a master developer down in Albuquerque in one of our projects. And there's no quid pro quo. I think they just appreciate being dealt with fairly and openly and honestly. And they've experienced something different in the past as well. So, you know, again, and some private individuals are fortunate enough to have a lot of money of their own and see the value in investing in good, solid government.
Okay. Well, I hope that all of the citizens out there watching take the time to vote in this general election. The final balloting will take place on November 4th, and you'll hear lots more from lots of other candidates at sfreporter.com. Bye.